Is that a good idea? If you have an emergency medical hologram and it shows up and sees someone killing someone else, should the killer be able to dismiss the hologram that could save this person's life? I feel like there should be an override somewhere in there.
Well, maybe in the next update, to the software, they'll have that,
Oops! Hey, Internet. It's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We're here talking about Picard. Season 1, Episode 5, Stardust City Rag. Alright, so we begin this episode, I believe it's 13 years ago. It's at this place called the Seven Domes facility. I assume that's like a science kind of lab or something. We meet Icheb, who was a person who was Borged back on the Voyager show. Different actor, same character. He's being disassembled for parts. And 7 of 9 comes to rescue him. A little too late. Has to kill him, put him out of his misery.
Yep.
We then end the episode with Agnes doing what we suspected she was going to do and turn on the crew. And she murders Maddox. And so that's your framing device. Bang. Okay. So, in the middle of that, we've got this, we finally get to Free Cloud. They've been talking about, we got to go find Maddox. Where is he? He's on Free Cloud. They took a little detour to get Elnor. Now, they hit Free Cloud.
Now they finally hit Free Cloud.
It's kind of run by gangsters. It's kind of a Blade Runner-y feel. They got all the big virtual ads and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
There's this particular gangster. I don't say gangster. I don't know. This woman who's seems like a
mob boss.
Bajazel? Something like that?
Yes. Bajazel. House Effect for Incorporated.
House Effect for Incorporated, exactly. She's drugged and then kidnapped Maddox and is trying to trade him off to the Tal Shiar or whoever wants to bid for this guy. To get Maddox, they're going to have to try to go in and steal him.
Yep.
So what did you think of this episode, sir?
Initially, I wasn't that crazy about it, but I sort of warmed to it on hearing some people talk about it in second view, as it made me appreciate it slightly more. The fact that it's so different in one way, in that whole excursion on the planet. I mean, it's good that they're doing different stuff, not always doing the same things. So I've warmed to it.
Gotcha. I enjoyed it. I thought the pacing was good, and I thought there were a few very good emotional beats. I think Rafi talking to her son was an interesting beat, and I think the last conversation that we see between Picard and 7 of 9 is a good beat. There were a few things that I was like, but generally speaking, I enjoyed the episode. You mentioned the what do you call it, the heist, the Ocean's 11 style thing on this. That was one area where I was like, oh, they went way over the top comedic, essentially, in this moment. So, Rios wears this big, like, pimp outfit with add the feather, you need the feather. So he's got the big feather in his hat. And then, more so, was Picard wearing this eye patch and then having this freakish.
I wonder if it was German accent, actually. Or, like, not German. It kind of sounded like Peter Lorre to me, actually, which I guess would be a Belgium accent.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I was going to say French, but okay. Yes, not his native accent.
No, definitely
Basically,
not.
He was the accent that probably one of Rios's emergency holograms has.
Yes, exactly.
But it was so over the top that, like, it reminded me in a way. And this Jonathan Frakes directed this episode again. And he was probably maybe hearkening back to some of those old holodeck episodes from Next Generation, which is fine. Some of those were very fun to watch.
Sure.
But those had this angle of, we're on the holodeck, and sure, there's maybe an element of danger to it or blah, 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 blah. But these are like inanimate things. These are ones and zeros we're talking with, and so we can be as goofy as we want, or and it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
If you put that context into actual people that might shoot you in the face, it feels weird to be like, here's my plan. You're like, what?
Oh, here's my stuff. I'm not going to shoot you in the face.
Perfect. I'm glad this works. Thanks for not shooting me in the face. it belied the actual danger that they were supposedly in, I think, to have eye patch and over-the-top goofy accent. To me, it just took me out of that moment. I'm like, wait, what are you trying to get at? Because the beginning of this episode is almost like a horror movie.
Yes.
I mean, the guy's getting his eye yanked out
Yep.
for parts, and then the trauma kills him, and he's like begging to be killed off.
Yes.
I mean, that's really tough stuff.
Time for the comedy.
And then they come like, Jacques Chevalier. I'm gonna do my little. I don't even have a mustache to get twirled.
No, he doesn't. You can only.
They did miss that from the prop department.
Did,
Damn it!
right.
Oh crap! So that was, to me, it was a little. I think that missed. I think it was, if it was an attempt to harken back to the holodeck days, they put it in the wrong setting. I thought, personally, that's just me.
I didn't mind that so much, but yeah, because I think that's a common thing with shows when they decide to do some sort of heist that they want to treat it comedically. So for me, it went hand in hand. Although I think a point you made about the logistics of exactly how much danger they were in, and 7-9's bargain to. I mean, they probably should have had that occur in a different location, not in the actual place where there are all people around, and somehow her having her back to everybody who could kill her is enough.
Yeah, that where she I think it's Bajazel gives the order, like, kill them, and to stop that, 709 grabs her neck. And in my mind, I'm like, well, are you faster than a laser? Like, I think a phaser could just take you out before you could do any like neck snaps or anything like that.
Yeah. But again, as I said before, though, maybe she's got one of those special Borg hands,
right?
Where it's like it still activates after you shoot your body off of it.
No, the rest of my body is dead, but I have the compression hands.
Yes, yeah. See that VUP guy would have been like, "Ooh, look at that hand! All right,
dodge the laser, dodge the laser."
That'll be good to sell to people.
That's true. Yeah, so obviously in this world, Borg tech is it's a high market item, and that's what this guy Icheb, the former Voyager guy, was being stripped for his parts. And interestingly, he's in that shot. He's still got it on. He still has his Starfleet uniform on.
Yeah, they didn't bother to take it off. I mean, he's still part of Starfleet.
And it also makes it feel like it's pretty recent. Like they grabbed him and like, just do it.
Right, yeah.
Yoink.
Well, that's what 7-9 was saying, is there was an ambush. So they thought they were going to do one sort of mission, and then whoops.
Oops. So, but that also shows, kind of the amount of disregard or something for the Starfleet that these folks had, that they were willing to jump in and take an officer and kill him. So we learned that, after the synth attack and the Mars thing, and that the neutral zone that used to be between the Romulans and the Federation kind of dissolved, and it turned into this kind of, because no one was willing to take control of it, it became this lawless area. And so the Fenris Rangers, that name that I love, they took over that region, or attempted to police it in some way, kind of vigilante justice, of which 709 is one. Obviously, I guess from the show, and I don't remember this from Voyager. I watched some Voyager, but not every episode, and I don't remember this particular episode
I don't remember that either.
But apparently, he was like a son to her in a way. Like, she was the mother figure to this other newly reclaimed Borg, and so having to kill him to put him out of his misery is this like big deal, obviously. Yes. And so she goes on a mission of revenge, and this gives her that chance to get revenge on the woman, Bajazel, who inflicted this, obviously torture on her son and emotional torture on her.
Well, and she wasn't even aware. So her previous relationship with 709 caused her to be aware that he existed, and so that's what led to, part of that led to her getting her hands on him. So it was like, oh, even worse. If I hadn't had that relationship with you, you wouldn't have known about him.
Yeah. Right. So she feels the survivor's guilt.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do we think it's called Stardust City Rag?
We have no idea.
We don't really know.
No.
If you have an idea out there, I was thinking maybe it's because it's related to maybe the Sting. Mm-hmm. We hear the music playing while they're yanking the guy's eyes out.
Yes.
So I guess maybe it's Bajazel likes this type of music. So
Maybe.
at her lab, she was playing it 13 years earlier. And then in modern days, she still has it playing or something similar.
Yeah,
in
but
her
it's interesting, though, Shock, because that's not what was playing when they first entered the bar. So it wasn't like more, it was more like disco or...
Right,
or
they didn't
it was
keep that
disco.
music
I guess
all the
it's
way
more
through.
like electronica.
I even went
Like,
to the end.
Yeah.
And to see if like maybe they played it as a little out.
But
they
now
don't.
that she's dead?
Yeah. Like, well, she's talking to Seven of Nine and trying to, talk her way out of it. And there's like somebody on the piano. Yeah. No. You can stop playing.
Yeah.
We're all going to die. So I'm not sure exactly where the Stardust City reg comes in necessarily.
Yep, who knows?
The plan goes awry in large part because Seven of Nine's ulterior
What's the name of
motive,
it again?
Stardust City rag.
Okay. Somehow I thought about Star City.
Oh.
But I don't think that's... I was thinking about that frog rag.
Yeah. All time rag.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they had
Because at the end of it, it was like in the future, so the guy had like a laser. He was cutting the thing, So that might have been Stardust City.
That's true. He was in Stardust City. So
where the gas is green and the girls are pretty.
We've got a situation where, Seven of Nine, reveals herself to Bejazel, who knows who she is, and it kind of screws up their con.
Yes. Then she didn't let the crew know that she could be compromised in that way.
Right. Her ulterior motive, and so the idea,
I did like the bit where he was like, "Are we still doing it? No, we're not."
Yeah, are we still
doing it now."
pretending?
Yeah.
It's Eleanor who doesn't want to pretend. Obviously, he's got the absolute candor.
Not that he does not want to. He knows he's bad at it.
Well, also he's absolute candor, right? I mean, he's
Right.
probably got that little code or something.
I guess. I mean, yeah, it seemed more like he was like, "I'm willing to lie,
Sure.
even though I'm bad at it."
So he, are we still pretending? No, and that's Picard realizes, oops.
The jig is up.
She was pretending, and she's not now.
Yes.
So that reveal puts them all in danger. They get out of it, and then Seven of Nine pretends again. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna get picked up by my Ranger friends, but can I borrow these two these two phasers in the meantime? Thanks."
That second viewing there, it's like when she asked for it, he goes, "Oh." There's this look on his face like, "Oh, what do you want to do with those?"
Yeah, right.
Oh,
you
no.
probably have an immediate use for those.
Yeah.
And she does. She comes back, bum, has her last little exposition to the villain, and just wipes her out of existence. And the last we see of her Seven of Nine, she's in a gun battle.
Yeah, gun battle.
But she did give a little chip to Picard to say, if you ever need me. So she's coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back.
She's just fine. We are introduced to this new, what is it, a beta?
New race.
Yeah, who can read people's, not minds per se, but
emotions.
Yeah.
So they're lie detector machines.
Lie detector. And so to beat said lie detector, they have Rios down to make the deal, and just to avoid the fact that he might screw up by lying, he's given this injection that'll kick in when he gets too nervous.
Yeah, no one else would have thought of that before.
Right, exactly. This is a lie detector. It works in a very specific set of circumstances that you can break in about 5 minutes. Kicks in, he beats the lie detector.
Yes.
And none are the wiser in that moment.
Well, in that moment, yes.
Rafi, we find out, has her own motive. This is why she agreed to go, probably, to Free Cloud. Maybe that's also why she was kind of like, we're not going to, what was it, Vashti last week? Because she thought they were going to Free Cloud.
Right. Yes.
And it's like, no, we got to take a detour. And she was so against it.
Yes,
maybe part of the reason was, I don't want to go there. I want to go see my son on Free Cloud.
Sure, yeah, probably.
So I think her intention, if all had gone well, would be show up on Free Cloud, hang out with the son, spend some quality time, and let Picard go on by himself.
Yes.
That did not work.
No. Failed.
That son has got a grudge.
Yes, he does.
So she shows up out of nowhere. He's like, I think they're at like a maybe checking on the prenatal care or something.
Yeah, it was like a free clinic or something.
So he's like, hey, did you stalk me? She's like, yeah, I did.
I did.
You're like, oh, God. That's unsettling. And so, what I loved, there was part of this I really loved because when the conversation between them starts off, you feel like it's going in the direction of, hey, you were an addict. She's like, I'm clean now. And he's like, yeah, but you really hurt Dad and I, and
Sure.
it's terrible.
Yes.
And so you get this, okay, I got it. I got the arc here is she's a recovering addict, and in the process, she, chose her addiction over her family. That's not it.
Oh.
That's not the problem. The problem is she's in the conspiracy
Yes.
theory about the Romulans, and the Federation in on the attack on the synths,
Yes.
which we're pretty sure she's right about. But that's what drove her this wedge between her and her family. And he has not forgiven her for it. And we see that he's probably got a Romulan wife. It's either Romulan or Vulcan. Probably Romulan makes the most narrative sense.
Sure, it does.
And so he's got a Romulan wife. They're about to have a kid.
Yep.
And here's his mom saying, the Romulans did this terrible thing.
Damn
and they killed
Romulans.
everybody. And so
She's Archie Bunker.
she's Archie Bunker. Racist.
This meathead.
But yeah, so it's interesting in that moment. She's, really opening up to him and trying. She wants to make a connection in this moment.
Yes.
He certainly doesn't.
No.
And she also realizes she's got a grandkid and she'd like to make a contact. Yeah. And so there's a moment where she might have had a chance when he's saying, like, she's like, I'm clean and I'm doing my best, and and then he's like, yeah, but those conspiracy theories, that's really what drove it out of the. And she could have in that moment, for the sake of like getting back together, maybe just let it go, but she can't, right?
No.
She's like, no, oh, that's true, you are wrong, sir. And immediately, like, the shield walls are up.
Yep, she can't
you are never coming back on that.
She can't be Adina Menzel. She just can't.
Yeah. The wife shows up, and it's obvious that he hasn't mentioned his mom to the wife. Because I think if he had mentioned her and felt that badly about it, she would have been on her guard, right?
Maybe.
She would have been like, oh, it's you.
Well, yeah, maybe it said, like, I've heard a lot about you.
Right. But she doesn't. She's like, oh, okay, you want to stay? And he's like, no, she can't stay. She said she couldn't stay. Right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I heard that. So Rafi is rejected by her child. And so it's back on the ship. She's still on the show.
Yep, she is.
Does not leave the show.
No, she is not.
So that's that's a pretty heart-wrenching thing, and you can see her commitment to this. She's not willing to let go of this thing, which is, as we the audience know that she's right. That there was a big conspiracy.
Yes.
And it's cost her family.
Yes.
And in fact, family seems to be the theme in some ways, maybe, of this episode.
Okay.
A la 7 of 9.
Sure.
And Icheb.
Oh, yeah.
She sees him as like the son figure. She's
sure,
got,
yeah.
Rafi and her son.
Sure, Rafi and her son.
And then you've got it's a theory time.
Maybe she called him Daddy.
But but I think Agnes. I rewatched the scene right before she kills Maddox.
Yes.
Maddox is talking to her.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And he says, first of all, he says something like, "Did you see Dodge?
Yes.
Did you see her?"
Yes.
She's really upset about the fact that she didn't see Dodge. She's like, "Oh, I didn't." And she's like, she's upset because she knows she's about to kill him.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Okay. But she's upset generally.
Yes.
But it's interesting that he mentions that. Did you see her?
Yes.
He just puts it in that context.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he says, like, couldn't have done it soon. He's talking about the...
Yep. Nooney and Sung, who created Data.
And your contribution was essential.
Yes.
That's what he says.
He did say that.
And the way he says it, your contribution was essential. Mm-hmm. C-Dodge, I think, maybe to make this creature, this robot, whatever you want to call it, android real,
mm-hmm.
that it somehow was like artificial insemination kind of thing, and it's like her eggs
maybe
created. So she's actually the mom of Soji.
Wow, that's interesting.
And so I feel like maybe that's where this whole family thing kind of comes in.
Could be.
There you
Sure,
go. So that's
there you go. Woo!
Boom. It is Soji's mom is Agnes, and we don't know what sunglasses wearing Commodore O told her.
No, we don't.
But
don't know.
Supposedly, it was shocking enough that she was willing to kill her love interest.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
In cold blood.
Yes.
She says, "I wish you knew what I know," or something like that, or like, in other words, apparently, the information she got, Maddox didn't know about.
Right.
Like, oh, Maddox is going to be the destroyer. He creates a destroyer.
Yeah.
But in that case, if that's it, which seems a little weird, it's already happened. So, like,
right.
How are you stopping? It seems like in her mind, she's stopping some terrible event, future event, by killing Maddox.
Right.
Is what I'm getting. But A, he's already created Soji, who has been called a destroyer. And B, he's already told Picard where she is. Like, moments ago, he was like, you can find her in the artifact.
Right.
So that information's already out. So killing him doesn't seem to help any of that.
Why do we think that Agnes is not even when she was having a relationship with Maddox, that she wasn't Romulan all along?
You think that she might be Romulan?
Yeah.
What makes you think she's Romulan? Just because?
Well, just because she had this also antipathy to the thing. Maybe it was like, oh hey, let's see. Hopefully he doesn't get too far, but work with him, and see how he does. And then it's like, oh, we're involved with each other. And then when the thing happens, he escapes and obviously doesn't tell her. So maybe it was like, oh, okay, I was close.
That's true. He wasn't in cahoots with her so much that even when he went on the run, he wasn't like, hey, by the way, I'm okay.
Yep.
And
nope.
Here I am. He was like,
yep.
And we have already seen, obviously, with Narek's sister, she does the prosthetics or whatever. And so they've already introduced the idea that people.
Oh, that's back in Star Trek.
Oh yeah, sure. But I was thinking she might be an android, but I hadn't considered the fact that she might be a Romulan. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that because that's against her interest as an android to kill the person who's done it. And it's like, oh, Commander O didn't know that she was an android. When he's like, here's the future that you're going to see,
Is it the future or the past? I guess I don't know that either.
Well, I mean, they're afraid of
some future.
Yeah.
So
the thing that she's been shown,
the EMH comes on.
Yes.
It's Rios.
Yes.
He's like, hey, I detect psychological problems.
Yep.
What problems are you having? And then he realizes, the EMH is like, wait, you're killing that person.
Yeah.
He says something to that effect.
He says, what's the nature of this medical emergency? So it's like, what's the nature of your psychological emergency? And now, what's the nature of this?
Yeah.
That I'm looking at right here.
And then she dismisses him.
Yep.
And then you're like, can you do that?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that a good idea? If you have an emergency medical hologram and it shows up and sees someone killing someone else,
yes.
Should the killer be able to dismiss the hologram that could save this person's life? I feel like there should be an override somewhere in there.
Well, maybe in the next update, to the software, they'll have that,
Oops!
Well, we found a lot of deaths from this, actually.
Yeah. It's like in the old Wild Wild West days of the first online role-playing games. Before they realized people would be dicks to each other, like griefers.
Sure.
They're like, oh, we've got a world where everybody can just run around and do whatever they want. Oh, they're killing each other and, doing just incredibly evil things to each other. Maybe we should put a patch on that. All right, there we go. Stop being jerks.
So yes,
this is
somewhere there's some developers.
This is the Ultima Online of emergency medical holograms.
Looking at logs, being like, "Ooh, gee, we should do something about that." But yeah, so presumably the next episode, at some point, she'll scrub the information. So
right. That's the thing. I was wondering, is this a moment where they're going to find out? Is the emergency medical hologram? That's another thing it could be programmed to do. Oh, you erased me, fine. But I'll show up elsewhere in the ship and go, hey, by the way, someone's killing someone in the thing. So maybe that's how the rest of the crew finds out. Although you feel like that they're not going to give that away.
I don't think so. I think she'll
like, he died under mysterious.
Go over to Rio. It's like, hey, mind if I borrow your password to the?
It's tragic sense of life.
That EMH is annoying. Let me take care of that for you.
So, or suddenly the EMH has a French accent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder what happened to the old one.
Wow, what's wrong with the translation things? He seems to be morte.
He has a patch that he wears over his eye. So So she has done the Killerson thing.
Yes, she has.
And she's going to try to hide it. And I'm going to guess that at least for a few episodes, she's going to be successful. They are en route now to the artifact.
Yes, they are.
To get to Soji.
That's what they're getting.
We've got the situation where it was a fun little moment there where Picard and Seven of Nine, who obviously both got Borged at one time and then saved.
Sure.
She says, hey, did you ever get your humanity back after you were at the collective? He's like, yes. She says, all of it? No. But we're still working on it together, right?
Yes.
Right? 7 of 9?
Sure.
Don't go shooting everyone? And so...
That's very human.
That is very human. Good point. So, as he goes to the artifact and returns to a Borg ship, and Hugh will be there, and I think we're going to see a lot of Locutus, because we do see in the trailer there's a little Locutus moment.
Yes.
So I assume that's him remembering.
Maybe that's his version of a pimp hat. Just put me in the Locutus thing so I can go there.
That's right. We are Borg. Like, no, bring him on. That's fine. And so I also thought that maybe, and I know you're disagreeing with me on this a little bit, and this is just a theory and whatever, but I feel like you could see a plot, a narrative arc here where we begin the arc with Picard having, in his mind at least, and in the minds of a lot of people, let down the Romulans.
Yes.
Didn't help them in their moment of need.
Correct.
That maybe he is he's a deborged person.
Oh.
That maybe he helps this group of deborged,
let my
the nameless
people go.
And so he becomes the Moses of the nameless people that are the recently deborged on this cube, and that maybe he sees them doing in trouble and frees them in some way. So that could be the arc. I think that's our episode recap.
Sure, there you go.
We good?
Yeah.
All right. So that was episode 5. We'll be back talking about episode 6. And we may check out a little Altered Carbon season 2 next week as well.
In a couple of days, it starts up.
So come on back for that, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.